re tamisha mantšibeng a lekgono go tšwa kgole le kgauswi go le tšwang gona le le magaeng a bolena le le dinamelweng go ya mešomong le go boya mešomong re a le amogela lenaneong la rena la Mamotlha ke le wa lena Kedibone Sekgethela ke nna host ya lena Mamotlha ene bjale ka mehleng re na le moyeng wa rena o mo botsebotse ga ke sepele ke noši ke sepela le wethu o e leng gore o swaragane le tša di-technical matters ene gomme re na le baeng ba rena ka mogare ga studio sa rena. Welcome to Nellmapius Youth Forum podcast, and today we will not only dwell on the activism or political aspect of the matter, but we will also look into the heart of what it is like to be a leader as a woman. This is a space where where bold ideas meet real voices. It is a space where we engage with people who are activists, people who are leaders in our community, people who are willing and giving them their lives in serving the community for the betterment of our community. Like I said, I'm not alone. I'm with a change maker, a beautiful lady who has graced us with her presence today. A woman who will share her journey, her experience, the woman who is healing, who is leading, and is also transforming the community of Nellmapius and beyond. She brings fire, compassion. She brings the vision that is rooted in lived experiences. As we engage, we will explore into what women faces on daily basis, everything that women carries on their broad shoulders, and what they are capable of creating. Welcome to our today's show. Welcome to our show, and thank you very much for honoring our invite and gracing us with your presence.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
I'm looking forward to this engagement. As an icebreaker, matau ke mang?
Yeah. Okay. Lebitso la ka ke Emma Tau. I regard myself as a community leader. I'm also a sister, a mother, somebody's daughter, and yeah, I'm a colleague to some people. I recently stepped into a political space, so I might be called a politician as well.
Oh, oh, nice. It's good to know. Good to know. And on that note, what inspired you to step into to take this bold step to be a community leader, to offer yourself to serving the community of Nellmapius and also to be an activist?
Okay, I would say it goes back to how I grew up. I was raised by my grandmother, and later I was adopted because my grandmother passed away. So yeah, the lady who brought me up, like, she was a strong woman. Like, I've experienced a lot, like, under her care. So yeah, the background, and also I believe I'm born to lead. And then I'm from a Christian background that says I'm safe. So I believe in community service. I believe in making positive change in my community. Yeah, that's me. Like, before even I joined politics, Emma has been about community. My passion is there, waking up every morning, things that I'm experiencing, things that are happening around us. Yeah, dilo tso tsotlhe tse ke di bonang or ke hodile ke di bona ke tsona di creatileng Emma o a leng teng, because I believe if I see something and then see need a solution, so I should be the one bringing change or direction on whatever that can be a problem. The position and then reader activities in the community. And then, yeah, I've worked with bana ba ba rapilweng, more community, people would report or one or rapilwe, or an adult are rapilwe, then get traula case. Then when, I've worked even the other activists, GBV.
And more experience in Yahoo, as you mentioned, Hori, you've worked with schools, young people, or even adults. In your experience, what do you feel is missing when addressing GBV matters, be it from the police, correctional services, social services, and the community at large?
Okay, I would say there are gaps, gaps, like perekisano, collaboration, maybe SAPS, lady NGOs, gaps. For example, there's a case in recently. A young lady went to a club, lady colleagues. Then somehow she was dragged and she found herself outside the place in the morning. Then she came to me, we took her to hospital. Then going to open a case, we were told she can't open a case because she doesn't know the person. Obviously, she was dragged. I had to engage station commander for them to come and open a case, to say open a case because there's evidence that she was raped, and later maybe the person or the perpetrator can be identified or somehow at least the case number. And then the person will grant that counseling so that there's no gap. As soon as you deny the person to open a case, she won't even heal, like utongala and all that. So I believe there's a gap. And then the other thing, we need more awareness. We still have cases, a child is raped 3 months later. A child, it should not be happening now. A child should be able to talk to teachers or have a platform where they can express themselves or speak freely to say, Mama ban rapile or Mem ban rapile. So the cases, even around Nellmapius Youth, it happened ka March, we find out ka June. So until we rahete kale, and then it cost the case hanchi I evidence because ngwana utlapile now ibangare u create a story and all that. So I think more awareness, and also a create a platform where children, if they can't speak to their parents or their teachers, like something that it's either anonymous box in every school where she can write a note and say, I need help, without or adidimale for 3 months and all that. So,
So in that sense, do we say that in schools, or schools are not or don't have the safe space that children can feel safe to speak about such matters? Let's say, for instance, when a child is molested, the school does not offer the space.
Counselors, maybe if you had a social workers in every school, then it will be a platform to say, I can't tell the teacher, but there's someone who will be coming and maybe presenting on the issue, and then the child can get that, a platform to say, this happened to me.
Sure, that it doesn't also goes to when the victim wants to report the case to the police station. Do we have sufficient resources that assist the victims in terms of reporting and maybe them being handled in a professional manner? Do we have those, like the Tutuzela centers? Do you have enough of those?
Yes, we do. In police, like for Silverton, I know for a fact that they have social crime, and there's an NGO that is based inside the police station. When a victim comes, they go there for victim empowerment. And then they make sure if it's a lady raped, then there's a female who can speak to the person. Then there was a lady who was raped and brought to my place at night. I called police. Then when they came, the lady police officer was the one speaking to the lady and explaining everything. So she was comfortable to explain what happened, and then they were able to assist. So I would say, though they can still train more, get more training for other police officers. And then, but so far the strategy of having NGOs which deals with victim empowerment in police station, I think it's good.
Okay. So say for instance now, we have different disabilities, right? So let's say for instance now there's a child who is autistic and nonverbal. How do we help the child to report the case? Do we have those resources in police stations that assist such people?
No, we do not have. Yeah, that one is a problem. It's a serious problem. We do not have, like, the cases usually end up saying no sufficient evidence. Obviously, they'll ask the child, "Do you see him?" Maybe the child is blind, so they can't even describe. So I think we need
maybe, not maybe, actually that also goes to the courts. It also means that when it goes to the court, or when the case reaches the court, the case just disappears because there's no sufficient evidence, and then the victim,
yeah,
that's very sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
That's very sad. And what role do you think men can play in supporting the fight against GBV in a meaningful way?
I think if they get more involved in awareness of women's rights, so that they also teach the boy child that women have rights, then it does. The fact that I'm a woman or I'm your wife doesn't mean you own me. I have a right to say no. I have a right to choose something different from you. So if children are taught, especially boys, we usually, or there's always mother and daughter, but there's never son and, the sons are left alone to raise themselves. Let's check our statistics. Many young men are raised by single parents. So if I'm raising a boy child, obviously, like, they need to learn, like, from a male figure. So if men or organization that deals with men can focus on a boy child to teach them, like, certain things are taught. So if they are not taught, then they'll take whatever they see on social media. If I tutor from TV, certain things in a certain way, I feel, or maybe that's the right way to do it. Or are they exposed to papa or mama all the time? Like, it's a learned behavior. We tutile yona. But if we have more programs in schools where it will focus on a boy child, to also understand if I'm raped as a woman, what emotions do I go through? Like, I'm not going to imagine, or okay, this happens. So we always talk about the perpetrators. Why virus? Then how does the person, only victim, feel? Then the other person understand, or okay, no, in any relationship, she's angry because of this and that. Then they get to relate with. Yeah, they learn it while they are young. Or I can never let my daughter experience that because somebody taught them, or women are like this. Sometimes they speak and then they don't mean things. When they're angry, this happens. So things need to be taught. So when we grew up, they were saying it takes a village to raise a child. True. But now the change it. So but I think, yeah, on the women part, yeah, we are trying. There are many organizations representing women and being the voices of women. So I think we should also focus on the boy child to teach them, to also understand their pains and whatever that they are going through before Ibaba home.
True. But I can advocate, or maybe play the devil's advocate, because we have a few organizations that are run by men that are advocating for a boy child. We have, for instance, what's that organization again? Fred. It is run by Fred Bohasu. He takes in the boy children and to the camp. Like the past weekend, they went to a camp. He empowers the young boys. And also there's another guy also, he's also running the same, almost the same program. We've got Sonke Gender Justice. We've got fathers today who are stepping in. I mean, we cannot only say the women are victims and it ends there. There are men who are also victims. Is it also right for a man to say no to a woman when he does not want to have sex with a woman? And it will not taken otherwise. The woman will gladly accept it, that my husband or my partner does not feel like having sex with me today, and it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I since it's gender-based violence, it doesn't mean that it's experienced by both genders. Women also suppress men in certain way. So all I was saying is, on the side of girl child and women, there's more awareness happening, more organization doing that. We need to do more on boys and men. So, like in Nellmapius, I don't know any organization like to be specific to say, go at 86. I've seen when you go there, they'll say, safety place, they all speak about women. So it's as if we have forgotten, or gender-based, it's not only about women. Gender-based, it's as if, hey, like now we forget it's not about gender. All I was saying, on the part, males, we need to do more.
We need more. We need to engage more on that. I agree with you, because there are men, honestly, who are doing their part, and we cannot take that away from them.
Yes.
We need to commend them for that. Not that we commend them for doing what they have to do, but we commend them for their boldness to stand in this kind of the world that we are in. Because men, when they come forward, they are deemed weak, mostly because they'll be vulnerable.
Yes.
And when men are vulnerable, they are deemed weak. So we really commend them, and we pray and hope that they are joined by more men on that sense. So yeah, we really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. We see you. We appreciate you. And on that note, how do women? How does you and I create the space for healing, a safe space for us to express our frustrations, our anger, our pain, and heal together for the betterment of our society?
Yeah, I think we have come to a time where we need to come together as women, share our experiences. I know it's not easy for just to talk to anyone, because basadi banale that thing or and all that. But what I've learned when we had events basadi this year is that we need to heal. We need to heal. Like I went to this event, we were all crying because somebody shared their story. And then I realized if she's crying, then that one is crying and say, I'm also going through that. So we need to have more sessions, more boot camps where we'll sit and focus on the part of healing. Yes.
So in what you have shared, and especially when you speak about the trauma, because all the behaviors that women portray, they are rooted back to the traumas, the childhood traumas, which unfortunately most of us have went through that. And if you are not aware of the trauma that you went through, it will create other aspects which then now creates something that is unpleasant to another person. You'd want to hurt other people because you feel hurt. You'd want to undermine others because you were undermined. You'd want to suppress others because you were suppressed. You'd want to silence other people because you were also silenced as a child when you're growing up. You would want to abuse other people because you want them to feel how it feels like to be abused. You know, you like dilo tse bia o tlo batla gore motho a feel gore go byang go feta mola, simply because you are not aware of your traumas and you don't even know how to regulate, because it comes obviously. If you don't know, or if you are not aware of the traumas, you will not know how to regulate yourself. And hence there's a saying that hurt people hurt people. I tend to disagree a bit with that note, because there are other people who were hurt and now are healing others instead of hurting others. So that notion, I argue with it. I can have an argument on that. So how do you as a person regulate when you are overwhelmed?
I think like you need to sit something and self-introspect, self-evaluate. That is why, like, personally, I've done that. Like, I am known as a loud person. So, me being loud was the fact that I thought I'm not heard. I could So, if you try then I could But now I've learned to heal from that and to keep quiet. Then I'm making more noise in my quietness because now it's like correct whatever that went wrong back to say, okay, I was not able to get that. So if I see a child then I come in, I step in. Reason I've realized, okay, this thing has hurt me. Maybe the absence of mama waka in Mopilombag then has made me to be mother go batho ba bang. Bana ba ka ba mputisa hore o khona bang ho ya go da gore this and this o fa bana ke it's because I know what is it to lack. What is it to ho shota motho ka reng like o ka confide mo yena. So that's why I katenela nna as an activist, politically or not. So I cannot ask on a membership. So it's what I do every day. So I think when you mentioned her, they say hurting people, they hurt others. House are healing, then you'll hurt others. But as soon as you realize then you go through the process of healing, then you'll be able to heal others. Now I'm from a Christian faith. Like I believe in a scripture that says all things work for good for those who love the Lord. So when I heard the scripture, I asked God, what do you mean? If I went through this pain, then how does it work for my good? But I've seen like I can recognize my pain because I've been there. I can see the signs that depression. When they are going through stuff, I see them. Why mama prophet? It's not that. Like what I've went through have made me what I am today. Because I see pain, I see possible danger, like because I've been through that. Like I've been in a surrounding where I feel I'm not safe. So as soon as you can relate. I can relate, and then I also know how to stop it. Then I'll also refer to people who can assist in the matter. Because I have healed. Before I heal, I will cause more havoc. If you want to decide, then then you get to embarrass to like you are violent and all that. So that is why I say we need to heal as communities, as women, as men, as families. Even Banabarena, they are going through a lot. They can't even share with us because they know Mama is going through a lot, Papa is going through a lot, family are right. So they're carrying a lot on their own. So if we heal, then we'll be able to heal others.
So, us not being healed now goes to our children, and we will go to our children's children. It goes from generation to generation. So, in your saying, as you say, you have healed. In your experience or in your healing journey, what can you say you can help someone? What are the elements or the instruments or the resources that you can say through this I can help someone to heal? Because you just said you can identify or relate to someone who's going through the same. How do you help someone, or how do we as women work together to help other women who are hurting without us feeling obligated or wanting the credit? Tomorrow here that lady ali sharp mo pelong without her feeling like the need to do that. How do we come together, work together to help women, to help one another, to succeed together?
Yeah, I would say, I'll come to say more awareness about more mental health, so that people are aware of the mental health, or am I okay? Then I also tell people who rena as Basotho or batho ba bantsho, we don't believe in counseling to a point where we lose people, we lose things, we lose a lot, and then we don't even go and confide to somebody. We just want to continue as if everything it's normal. Every jump is to say, if mama ka tlhokofetse ko yena ke koko, le yena need to say I miss koko. They can't even say that. Then ba react ka ba angry, ba bangwe ba ya go di drugsing and all that. So I would say go for counseling, like go to somebody you don't know. Good clinic. Our clinics have access to the psychologist. Wabuka, it's for free. If you need to speak, then they won't even say. I went to Google Clinic in Nellmapius just to say, as a parent, like parenting is not easy. So sometimes you need to do a check to say somebody or more because and how parent are out the bone. So now go push up another how too hard, not realizing like kiddy individuals, they also have their own life. So I would say go for counseling, speak to someone, attend the sessions. That is why I say we need to meet more. That topic, it's right, as basadi, how to raise a child, the challenges. We have many women not working, how to make money, to encourage them to sell something. Like you cannot rely more sasa fela. Those things really more practical as community leaders to say now we call unemployed women together. Created cooperatives and also farming. You know, like I've seen, for example, Kiko social minister we really garden spinach. So social minister na ya terana ka bunch ya 10 rand fela. So every Sunday when we are selling rira 300 in a month ke bokae. So if that amount was going to one person as a berek, ira something 300 times 4 1.2, but another person akasibona until the former as cooperative reuse the space like kudu skolong and all that, and then basadi baira. So we need to discuss issues that are important to us. Nakwela how to do makeup. We have TikTok for that, the tutorials and all that, but we need to be speaking as women to say I went through this is how I overcame. I raised 3 children on my own because I had to sacrifice 1, 2, 3. So sometimes you look at a person who is, but there are things that they went through or they did. Yeah, I'm going to quote the Bible.
It's fine.
So the Bible, older women should teach the younger ones. So I want to experience is a good teacher. And a better than when. So then this is what I had to do. So now I always talk about how did you do it? Then then this pap and place. Then you get to realize, but receive the handouts and then they had to sacrifice. I know people who sold their houses for my children who buy school. I'm selling this house. And then then later they made it and then happy. You see, because it's a responsibility how as a parent to make sure how they make it in life. Because as soon as they fail, you know what they blame. Sure. I could have done more, I could have, you know. Yeah, so I think if we speak the issues already facing more community, like I mentioned, unemployment, how to deal with it. Because if you level government, it's not possible. If only 10% yeah, a business is supplying for what, or SASA and all that, so we can't depend on SASA, all of us. So we should encourage from Rena Basadi, even young people, to be more the entrepreneurs, like recreate the skills. I always tell young people, if only skills are roka, no one can take that away.
Sure.
So if ukono ira miriri, no one can take that away. Ukono latela batho waira whatever. So yeah, I think
no, this is a platform where we have to speak like without being apologetic about it. This is a platform we have created for such, you know, because arena engage in women's conferences, women's month, when we have those settings, we are not earnest, we are not honest about the conversations that we are having. We'll just come and rock really nice, really all that, and wearing the masks to appear beautiful before other women. And guess what? When you go back home, we face the same problems that brought us out of our homes, those events. So this is a platform where we become vulnerable, we become honest about the opinions. Even when we're raising opinion, we're raising honest opinions. This is what I believe and I'm advocating for.
Okay.
For this be a platform we speak from the heart, not to please anyone, but to transform our community, to transform our homes and the community at large. There are so many social ills, we cannot afford to play around. There's no time actually to play around. You know. And I really appreciate your honesty and your vulnerability. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you were to speak to a young girl or a woman or a young boy or a man who is being molested, who has been silenced, who have been abused in all sorts of abuse that you can think of, who have been overlooked, who have been despised, who have been humiliated and undermined, what would you say to them right now?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you can heal. You need to decide to say, I want to heal. Like it's a choice, or fall. Then it's a process, and then it's possible. Yeah, healing is possible. Yeah, healing is possible. So healing is possible. Yeah, allow yourself to heal, and also make a decision to say, I want to heal. Like it's not automatic that then fall. So, and then in terms of if you are rapey or being molested, I tell people the fact no one sees it should give you strength, because it's only when I tell you I was raped that you know. Or it's only when it happened, when or if it was done by you, you can say this one was raped. So that one should give you power. The fact that you're abamponi, then you go to go and find help and fall. Then healing, I physically fela, the emotional part, the spiritual part. So you need to heal in all those levels. So spiritually, I know believer could different, but I always tell people there's always a higher power. True. More you need to believe in, to say momo yeng. And then I believe everything before irahala physical, it started in the spirit. So how for dile moyeng, then hutota emotionally, body psychologist, body social worker, and then labor route, they can assist. But assist spiritually and emotionally, so you can approach them. You don't have a good psychologist. If you can get it's a safe space to say, Muruti, I need to talk. This happened to me. And then physically, go ya doctoring and all that. Then yeah, healing is possible. So I've seen people going through that, and today they are mighty speakers, today they are wonderful leaders, and then they went through a lot. Even have a testify about their lives, you enjoy whatever that they are saying. But what I can say, healing, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And true. And when the Bible, God says, all those who are heavy laden, it's God who says that. And yes, He reaches out to us. He heals us because He is our healer. After all, He created us. He knows where to touch for us to heal. Only if we go to Him earnestly to say, you know, God, so here I am, I need healing. And without peace, there will not be healing. And if it's not healing, obviously you will not have peace. So mudimu oteng, and yes, if we go to Him, we will be assisted. Sure, that was a very emotional part. Let's now get into the leadership part of it as the women. So you mentioned something, you highlighted back then, women, or you said it takes a village to raise a child. And yes, it's true. Back then, basadi hey Lord, it was a group of people, let's say more extension 6, right? I'll just, for example, who's the council again? Masilela, so basadi ba mo ga Masilela, they would go go mashemu. They would first but to say mas mamang, then ba move ba go chimunya mas mamang, then ba move at the end chimung muleng etlabe ilimilwe ibiadile we metsupula. And le go buniwa, the same strategies was applied. Like if at the end everyone otlabe aberekile and everyone otlabe athusegile. So morona why even before why do you think women today lead differently in our communities, in corporate, in politics? For example, I'll just mention the few. We take it back to Bomam Lilian Ngoyi, Bomam Albertina Sisulu, Bomam Nomzamo Matikizela Mandela, Bo Professor Lenkambule, Bo Professor Mamokheti Pakeng, Bo Dr. Arikana Chiombori. You name, just to name the few. Those people are women in power, women in leadership. When you look at those women, rooting back from Bomam Albertina to Professor Pakeng today, and we're looking at ourselves as the young people today. King erenaranang leona or enebanang leona eneba idira erenare shotang now.
I don't know, but what I think in terms of leadership, we have different leadership styles. So irregardless of gender. So in leadership, you'll find where there are men who are leading, but in different styles. Then mentioning Winnie Madikizela Mandela, I would say if you are using styles as unique, that's when you'll be recognized, meaning being yourself as a woman, not competing with anyone, but being Emma. To say, Helen, as long as problem is a solve, I can that will make people to recognize you. Yeah. Then maybe I would make also example, Renalem, women in leadership, the mayor Musad. So for now, like, it's amazing the fact that she's young and a woman, very young and a woman, the way Ali Dankateng, like, yeah, I never imagined it was. By the action I was saying, how I get someone so Twani needs someone. So I just realized leadership, the more unique or the more strategic in your leadership, that's when you'll be recognized. Then I also think and believe even women in our time now, they are capable of doing that. It's just that the challenge issue societal pressures, ra pressurize nako ngore ba biased as women to say ke lebella hore ke tsamaya le mang ke Kedibone, and then o go mo khatlong wa ka pele ke yona eo e re ke thuse yena pele o la re ke menyana and all that. But if re ba strategic, re ba unique, ke ba nna, ke ba me, and then ke tseya dilo tse ding ke di beya aside, hore if problem mo it's a social problem, it affects everyone. If problem ke crime, it affects everyone. If problem ke service delivery, it affects everyone. So even the approach should be, I should not worry hore mosadi o kwa organization e feng or mosadi o tla ko tumelong e feng. If re nyoko solve a problem, then we just look at to say this is a problem, bo botlhe tshwantse re tle ka solution. Then I think we'll be able to lead together. So the thing e re separate ke issue ya hore o mongwe o feel hore na ke affiliate go so, and then ke push agenda as so. But if we can say our agenda is community, so I won't mind hore ke bereka le mang wa pere eng.
The vision eba one.
So now it disturb, nobody disturbing factors, or now motho ira something because I push a certain agenda.
True. So recently more that issue of power and leadership and all that. How are women changing what power is today? Because then we understood power from the perspective of patriarchy. So today, how are women changing the dimension of power?
I believe they are stepping into a space where women are stepping in. Especially in politics, you'll find basadi all the time, they'll push banna kopil. If you check every political party or the organization, you'll find basadi ki babanji. And they are all led by men. Or check the same thing, maybe go parliamenting, how can check out no more. No more men than women. But today things are changing. Like if you check who tomo wale balance. Track economy, a driver, you'll find the CEO, like things are happening. You go to Tswane, you'll be surprised. More women are stepping into the space of leadership, even in business. Businesses, entrepreneurs, it's women. Like we've had in Women's Month, I was amazed to see powerful young women, old women who are leading in different spaces, in mining, in agriculture and all that. Then I believe we are heading into the right direction. Women are starting to regain that thing to say we can lead, we can do this. So as long as re ka dila ka dilo tsela tse nyane tse dirang hore re compete against one another, also to push wrong agendas or allow other genders to use us. So yeah, like this year I've learned in Women's Month to say as women we are self-sabotaging ourselves by looking down on ourselves, like to a point out how about offer a position, you always say, why you don't even recommend another woman because how it's happy as Mossad. But I think there are those who are stepping into the space. It's happening slowly but surely. I think we are getting
on the right direction.
Yeah. Like the councillors, even in Mamelodi, we have women councillors. It was not easy to find women councillors. Like I think there's now a balance, meaning women are stepping in to say, I can stand. Not they felt they are not good enough. So now, if we can run the households are on our own, then we can run the country. I can safely say even we are ready for a woman president as a country. But things are happening. Maybe when I the negatives there and there, but yeah, Baba represent them so far. I think they are doing it well. So it lies to Reina to say now let's pull young people into that space. If only MMC or something, get a young person to be the PA, get a young person to do something. If only councillor, get a young person at la something, so that they also enjoy that space, yeah, leadership. Or okay, Lena, ngaba VD captain, ngaba street committee. Even in our blogs, it went with Renality Street Committee. We make sure there's a young person. CPF, I was recently appointed or elected as a PRO, more Sector 5. So there's more women and young people. And I think so very young, and they're doing it. So I think it's getting that space as community territory meeting about 1 minutes and then
young person.
But if we say hi then it's a problem. But feel not good enough groove. So but if we have space, even in church, if we have space to say social ministry, balance, women, men, disabled, young people, then they will come into that space. They don't learn. Okay, mola batama wrong, more we can correct it. So, yeah.
Speaking about participation of younger people, do you think, Rona, as adults, we are ready to be reprimanded by children?
Not really. But we have to adapt to that, to say, but it change. There's something that you won't change. Change your and then I always make an example to say, nakira example kan. Kinaleban. Phone ke tomilo tshwara phone before ball. But they know it better than me. Because now I come from another time, then bona they are in this time. I get. Meaning whatever that happens now, they will understand it better than me. I get. Then I should not see them as a threat, but as if kinale doctor, then I should be proud or I gave birth to doctor. Meaning as an adult, if a younger person knows better than me, then I should be proud to say, wow, to tell something like it should be like your own child. Now I'm phone like WhatsApp, Bluetooth and all that. So we should also trust them. Leadership. The fact it's now. Things have changed, so it needs somebody mindset what today to solve a problem today. So even like recycling, no, in this way, like I don't know how to make that example. So, but what I'm saying, we should learn to say they know better and be proud about it. It's there as a challenge. Baba holo then by yes, because he was born now. Really understand because now we have to learn. Bona automatically hanali 6 years sets atikirela mo phone ukono connect Wi-Fi ukono connect that we rigitsa bona hore khopela o ntuse. Yeah, even how ke nyako download or something ke re I fetse ebe ba utshehe because they know better, and then the only reason no one taught them ba phela ko nakong eo. Na ke hola I grew up ko Mamelodi West ko Naledi. Strata Sarena we had TV one roll lebella ko ho one TV. So every house in a TV to a point out a smart TV. Baba today we are so sorry. DS so somebody had to explain that. And then it's a young person because they understand better. So I don't know if I explained who are threatened when young people are coming into leadership space.
We must allow them.
We must allow them. If a chairperson, then meeting that young person will be a chair. Then when to speak and not to speak. Then Oscar, nahana andidimaza. How you are out of order, you need to raise your hand so that we allow you platform. Then you need to do that. So, chairperson abu determine how many years. But we determine this person is for that position, maybe I'm appointed or elected or voluntarily to be in that position. So I think leadership aina age.
True. And Kirona at the end, by long we need to nurture those children.
Yes.
Kirona at the end, by long we need to pass the baton to these children. Kirona at the end, that we have the whole responsibility, like a huge responsibility to model the roles that we expect our children to live in.
Yes.
I mean, if we can say, for instance, every day na like a vampire, as a vampire, and then like the same, my children or the children that are looking up to me will see that as a norm. If they see me doing they will see that as a norm. So hence I'm saying we have a huge responsibility in shaping our community. Most of the time we do not model those roles very well, because we go to an extent of reba rome bana bale ebe re mpulele e utlwelle hore e byang habli chuma dikhoulo mo and all those things. We're teaching those children to do that. And some of us, if not most of us, have dropped out of school. So our children, or those who are coming after us, they don't see the significance of going to school. But anyway, a kilogram mereko, degree, but abana mereko. And we fail to motivate them to go to school because Rona self, we dropped out of school. But if we can say to them, okay, my child, I understand that you feel horrible. There are people who have graduated and are unemployed, but should the opportunity come for them, they will grab it because they qualify for that opportunity. And what do you have in your hand? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, what do you have in your hand? So if they have something, then it will take them somewhere. Unlike them saying, what's one and not having anything. So it is our responsibility to model these roles to our children, to be the role models, and not only our biological children, because there are other children in our communities that are looking up to us. Hence, we cannot afford to fail in life, because if we fail, we are killing the generations to come. So as leaders of the community, we cannot afford to fail.
I just wanted to add on that, to say when it comes to parenting, like we need to have parental workshops. There's no manual for parenting children. That's where we are failing as parents. So we need to be having, I don't know how, but maybe Kudukolong have parental workshop. Because I've realized now hege hula, hege compare lebana baga, like a lot has changed. And then how I was raised, until somebody teaches me something, or also learn from other parents, parenting styles. So, my way or no way, again. And then we negotiate. They just don't care, not worry, it's their character. So as a parent, you need to know, you need to balance in a going way. Like raising a child, be persistent. Like if you are saying to them, Lewaga 6, it be 6 o'clock. And then it doesn't help if then just because feel or so if it is 6 o'clock, it is 6 o'clock. And then we also need to be taught as parents, or our children, they don't learn from how am I and all that, seeing what I'm doing. So learn as a parent, go podcasting. So you feel like if you delay, maybe like I need. So whatever I'm doing, they'll also do it. Mama Ratamaya, go skolongo, ki Saturday, king ever attend Saturdays. So resign the form, so this Saturday ro attend. So auto Linzabelo sign indemnity for more remind, because every time lo and how wa so parents refail more. And then in Kopota issue substance abuse. So I work in a space or volunteer in a space where children use substance. So whenever you do an intake, o kry-a ngwana a re ha o mmotsisa hore o thomile o tsuba neng, a re ke na le 15 years, but ba mo tlisa now he's an adult, o na le 34. So the question is, for that 15 years, why atla no? So you find hore motswadi ha bona di signs. Kore signs are there, but somebody need to teach them to say ha o na le ngwana a le aggressive all of a sudden, there's a chance to use this type of substance. Then if you wanna design mo matsohong tse, those things can be taught. So ka tsona di parental workshops, maybe re targeta go di skolong hore hele parents meeting, someone maybe from Sanka, from other organization, bo COSAP, come and teach his parent, or these are the signs. Because, or these are the triggers, what triggers bana or what's any that. If you are pressuring your child, or a pass, try to assist, or okay, wa failure. Don't keep on saying wa failure, wanna go next door, and then you compare them, then over pressure unnecessary. But if you get someone who okay, me say somewhere ba check, like the baga check out what is the problem. Maybe it's the wrong subjects and all that are changing. Not, I don't believe everyone turns a university, though education is important. Not everyone university, babang bato ya di colleges, babang ito ba di entrepreneurs, babang they are supposed to work with their hands. But it's just the system e re tswang ko yone e rutile hore re tsena sekolo ra fetsa grade 12, ra colleging, ra bereka. That is why you find bana ba sa bereke then they're frustrated. So, meaning now we need to speak a different language to say, going to school, you are empowering yourself. You are making yourself easy to express yourself. It's 3. Okay, I was born in a different time. Like, it was easy to express if in school. Then, as soon as you then you get the opportunity. Because the teaching, so you need, like you said, I'm just supporting what you said. So all I'm saying, parenting, you need a workshop for it. You also need to consult other parents, or how did you do it? So so even the person who they are going through something, they don't understand something about their children. So if no, okay, get sign out, or maybe utomilo data, maybe get someone to talk to them. Then maybe get sign out or ngarwa tsuba, o bona in check di potla tsa hae, o tlo bona di thoro tsa paje, wa bona di mastics and all that. Glue, ba inhaler glue. So you wanna guy mo diaparo. But as a parent, if somebody glue, how would you want to reach the benzene? We expect the monko, but this one monko, glue. Why we read glue? But if somebody not school or somewhere or in a church space, these are the signs for one is going through something. So those early signs, I get like prevention to prevent. Then we come with it. So I'm still saying parents need the workshops. Especially who would these days. That inside, how do I help my child?
We need to empower one another in order to raise our children. They are responsible citizens. We need to empower one another. With that being said, so it's fine. It's okay because we somehow like program at the we plan to do this, but because of the issues that are there in our community, we are forced, or we have to allow that space for that conversation go through that length, and then so we can create solutions. Because we're not only speaking here. In a way, I don't know if you have noticed, I'm taking notes because I'm also saying, it's thinking now, okay, if we're saying we need parental support, or we need parental awarenesses and empowerment, it means there's a need, parent power, because there's an organization that I'm affiliated to, which is supported by DGMT. The program is called Parent Power. We've engaged with few schools, and the impact in those schools is evident enough, to a point whereby when I spoke to parents, they were so shocked of what is happening in the school premises. They are not aware of the capabilities of their children. They are not aware of the pain of their children. They are not aware of their children. Until somebody saying, this is where we have deviated from raising our children. Yena o bona o kare tsela ya e tshwereng e right. Yes. There's a saying in Zulu, ukuthi indlela ibuzwa kwabadala, and there's another one ya Sesotho, Sepedi or Setswana, ere ngwana sejo wa tshwaraganelwa. If we fail to stand together, then we're compromising the child, and we're compromising the future, not only this child. So in that, I need us to go into we were in politics anyway, and we're going back to that. Are you running as a councillor candidate for 2026?
Yes, I'm still the people's choice. I tried Hohana, but what 86 Action SA still feels for Emma can be the candidate. Okay,
beautiful. And yeah, and congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
And yes, on this one, it's a very bold step. What inspired you?
I think there's a lot that needs to be done in what 86. So I feel we need change. Then we've had community meetings. People are saying we need change. We need change. So I'm still at Action SA. Maybe I could have chosen to join another political party, but for me, Action SA is still the one. Yeah. So I still believe we need to take action. Nothing needs to be done. Like more things were supposed to be happening, but adirahali because no one is doing anything. But if we take action, make sure things like if you look at Masipala now, and then if banally that knowledge or what can happen, and then Nellmapius will be a different place. Speaking from like the dumping sites, more Nellmapius, we now have program Bareke community upliftment where a person can adopt that sport, yeah, dumping, Masipala watla wa clean and naga adopter, heke adopter, then I do something that will uplift the community on that spot. So many people are not aware of that. You go and apply to Masipala. So I feel like if there are people who are doing their part on that, and then by favor to that knowledge, then we won't have the dumping sites. And then there's also adopt a sport. You can adopt le park. We have our parks due to budget. Masipala but he's calling people to say adopt a park for your block, and then clean this and this and this. We allow you. Then I can even say to Bana, no habli babli, because I'll be the one maintaining everything. So if our community matla beg to say ke paka yaring. So but people are not aware of that. But Masipala led this program, they'll be coming to every region explaining. So I attended Yako regioning in. So if it's like I'm region 6, I'll make sure I mobilize but about business, by the NGOs, just about that information so that we can have more NPOs functioning. Yeah, like we need a church as a community. True. Church not where Sunday fail. They need to be assisting in terms of whatever the social ills terrible or banaba their own drugs. But if a church is in a permanent stand, there's nothing much they can do. Baby at 10 Sunday, then batloch. So I feel we need the church to tap into that space. If you allow them permanent space to say, 10 by rehab, they are coming back in 6 weeks. What program can you assist as a church? So we have many churches, Nellmapius. So, but the fact that no one is addressing them. So I feel when we come to this election, let's not just look at are batling progress, are batling growth, are batling development for Nellmapius. Renale Skill Center, but we have Many young people who are not working, not skilled. You can even advise tsamanya ka eng o ire eng tsamo rekisa bona ba no itse hore ke ile go sekolong and then ke rile HR.
Yeah.
So and then hauna mibereko. That's why they are discouraged. But if you are itse hore hona le kwa nka irang upholstery or dressmaking or this, then it will be berekela. I even went to skill center ka tsena ka butsisa yo the answer tse ke di kreiling. I was like, really? So it needs us as community leaders who re-emelle and do something about the problems in Nellmapius. Because as soon as, like I even said to a point that we need to come together as all political parties studying in Nellmapius and look at the problems and together resolve. Like we did a good clinic to assist. Yeah. No political party but community. We can still say, if we are interested, we are this and this and this, and reutilize the skill center because we have people knowledge on how to assist, but there's no space. So we need to create spaces for community arena.
Yeah. Resale, on that note, what do we know? What's the procedure? Maybe let's help someone who's at home now. What's the procedure of getting access to the community upliftment program?
Yeah, you identify the space. How you identify it? Let's say it's an open space. You check the addresses of the houses close to the space. Okay. Then you go to municipality in town. There's a go Church Square. There's a building by Bita Oratsan. You go in there. Hunaleba land. Yeah, about the land. I think I get land development, something like that. Yeah. Then you go there. I identify this land. So I want to know where So they will go to a map system and then it will this land it's meant they'll confirm first or because they don't have database but as soon as you get there it's private land or it's meant for what can you do on that land? Meaning, if for agriculture, obviously you can't build a structure. Sure. They'll tell you, a container maybe to store your seeds and whatever, and then the process. But you need to identify. So you can't go and go what 86. No, if it's an open land, maybe we identify amatari, then you go about Sekgethela, then you take one, you tell them this is what I want to do. So for community upliftment, like you can't put a spaza shop, you don't make profit, but whatever that you are doing, it should uplift the community. It can be a soccer, something as soccer, sports, or sort of youth club, or reading, something. Like there are many things you can do. Maybe gaba a sport, more young people who come every Friday to read. Maybe you give out the book, then they go and read and come back because we are saying banabara and abakonoban. So those are the things we can do to assist. And then, then also to get rid of the dumping site. So hamoto atlakira plantile green ile reading place. There's no way I got solar rabolo. But if batlina by shiali vacant moto atla bushu watsol. So it's a problem.
So does it also come with funding? Given the financial strengths or constraints, that's one.
No, you have to look for funding. Let's say I'm an NGO, then I'll write letters to sponsors to say, I have this space, I want to, like environment, like to say, right. Maybe you have before pictures, then after, then how you want to see it, to maintain it. If Kepaka, you want to make sure it clean all the time and all that.
And have you ever experienced challenges in politics as a young woman, as you were trying, or in your way into the politics? Have you ever had any challenges?
Yeah, where I am, I never being active like Kiona recognize. I can't say I've experienced by opposition from other organizations. Because I'm a vocal person, and then I also feel keeping quiet doesn't solve anything. Sometimes you need to speak. Yeah, so that opposition from other, anyway, the opposition, they need to oppose. So, but from party arena, yeah, so far, not even a challenge to say I was non opposition for candidacy and all that. Even when I say somebody else take it, they say no, take it. We are there for you. We feel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So there's a lot of support in your organization.
Yes.
Great. And in leadership and in politics and beyond, why do you think women struggle to celebrate and support one another?
I think, like I said, the societal pressures, and then issue are natural. I think as women, who know that thing, element of competition. I'm not saying everyone, but it naturally, masari muno munya ka attention uko yena, and so as soon as if you are one, then it's a challenge. So we can celebrate to say, Kedibone u corner this or like leader better in this area than me. So I always have to say akasimpali. So I think it's that. Mara, if we learn to compliment or appreciate one another, also know people were different, and then there will be somebody ampalanga something, then I need to appreciate it. So if we can learn that as women, and we won't compete. So if I believe I'm born to lead, now I motivate myself. I'm saying I'm the voice. So when even when I'm praying, I say, God, I pray for my voice, or when I speak, but whether I go to do presentation in school, I pray for my voice. It's the belief that I have. I'm the voice for good. So even if I want to say bad to somebody, then I remember that statement to say, no, I'm a voice for good. Whether you call me one threatener or you're threatening whatever that I'm doing, I'll say I'm a voice for good. So I think every woman, if you can learn just to appreciate one another, also to understand, to also uplift, to say if I'm good at this, I should not look down on somebody just because
is better than me on the certain aspect or something like that. Which brings us to our next question, which is how do we normalize healthy confrontation between women without tearing each other down? I'll make a typical example. Say, for instance, you've done something unpleasant to me, and when I approach you, you know what, Emma, we really 1, 2, 3, and I don't feel it's okay to me. You've done wrong to me and I don't like it. Please don't do it again. How can we normalize healthy confrontation without tearing each other down?
I think if we learn to approach, like the manner of approach, I don't think if somebody comes to me and say, Emma, you have offended me because you did 1, 2, 3. How the person approach us, so approach you, it's how you react. But as a leader, anyway, you need to know how to deal with people, how to be a better person. Now I always apply the principle here by when I have a problem with somebody, I should take somebody with me to say, I spoke to leader so and so, and then this is how she responded to me. I feel now like it was not supposed to be like that. Or I spoke to her in a way, another defensive, maybe my approach was wrong, or the platform I used, she got offended. So when you get someone, that person, somebody neutral, then I say whatever, so that the person, even when wrong, I can correct her, and then add it to the other person, and at the end of the day, reconcile. So that approach, then I also learned, as long as moto akwatile, they say things they don't mean. That is why, as a leader, don't like Oscar react very quickly. Even Bible, be slow to talk, like to respond, because you get to think, or now if you get le bana ba hao ba irang, what does it do to this person? Ibile wena this and that, what does it do, and what does it say about me? So as a person, or okay, basadi ba, like, and then what are we teaching younger generations?
Yeah.
So I think the manner of approach, we should just also like ramohele hore re batho. I always tell people, even the siblings are di bone ka o tshwana. The fact that we are different, the fact that we were never raised, or we're not coming from the same background, we'll see things differently. So there will always be conflict, so you need to also learn how to deal with conflict. So I believe every place, the workshop or the session on conflict resolution, even good political parties are in political school, political academy, that's where they'll teach you how this will happen. Then how, as a chairperson, then do you bring together team how?
Yeah.
So even as basadi, we need to learn ho hatana di konse hona sometimes re tlo hatana. Then we should learn to forgive and also move on. O sa no re sorry just for the sake ya hore ba re o mo tshwaretse, then o ba le di grudges. Basadi re faila, I'll say I'm okay, ke shapo ke mo tshwaretse. Then later maybe ke bolela hampe ka yena. When she get that message, then
It was something
iba
else.
hore o a ntshwarela o mpetse like a trap or whatever. Yeah, we need to learn to forgive and also accept hore not everyone is perfect.
We are all not perfect anyway. So we just need to learn to embrace our differences.
Yes.
And empower one another or support one another in that sense, or and help each other grow. Because it doesn't help hore I build a table, a longer table, and then to sit by myself. I need women to accompany me, to have what I'm having, to share with them what I'm having. You know, it kind of fulfills to share what we have with one another. And in the Bible, Naomi worked with Ruth. They supported one another. They had their challenges, and in their time then, they had their own challenges in their time. But they supported one another. You know what, I'm done with you. Ibile go cut off no, so I get deal. You know, they did not do that, but they supported one another. And Lorona, even today, we are expected to do that to one another, to support one another. So how do you envision our country in 10 years' time, especially for the young people and the persons with disabilities in our community?
Yeah. In 10 years' time. I think if we have more ethical leaders coming into the space of leadership, things will go right, will be better, or will progress for the better. Where we don't have selfish leaders who think like of others, like baska ba tenaganela bona. So problem ya our country now, ke issue ya ke re lebeletse issue ya corruption, issue ya batho ha ba bereki, there's no this, there's no that. Then it seems like re ba bantši but the resources ke tse nyane. So working with limited resources, it will require that we have leaders, like we are there to lead and with intention ya o isa batho to a better place. Ke ska ba leader hore ba bone hore ema sale ya ba leader ko Nellmapius or sale aba in that space. So like we should have something to give. So I always tell people, you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give, there's no way I can restore hope ukis na yona. There's no way I can, you cannot give what you don't have. So we should have leaders who are there to give, not to take. So leadership for other people, ke kira position ya eng, ko kira bokae, ko kira eng. So leadership should be
What I give.
or what to give. I think if we, in 10 years' time, if we have such, then we'll have a country where young people are more confident, where young people are in a space to say, I know how to take care of myself, I know how to make money, I'm more confident, there's no need for me to use drugs. We'll be in a space where women are freely to say, "Ke a bereka," then I can go out ka yo nyanyisa ngwana. So le ke na le ngwana o monyane, a ke na stress se sentši, because we'll have leaders who are in that space to say, how can I make this woman a bereke better? How can I make this young person, okay, ba re o slow ko sekolong, what can I bring for this one hore le ena a kgone ba right? People who are there to give, like all the social ills, there are people who should be in that space to solve those problems. So, I will not do it. So, heavily things, so like renally unemployment, they need to come somebody in the space to say, this is the solution for the problem. Meaning, for this coming 10 years, with good leaders, with good leadership, I see us in a space where things are getting better.
Sure. With that being said, I'm now compelled to say, sisterhood is not something elong hore it's perfect, and something elong hore is soft by nature. Sisterhood requires a lot of hard work. It requires commitment, loyalty, honesty, and all those other elements.
And empathy.
Empathy
if
is
we
also
learn to,
important.
it's very important for sisterhood.
So if we can be honest with one another. If I can be loyal to a point, in your absence, I will never let anyone speak bad about you in my presence. And even when you are wrong, I will cover up for you, but reprimand you when we are together. Yes. You were out of line, and I couldn't say that in front of other people because that will be compromising you. But if you can learn to protect one another, if you can learn to hold one another accountable. If I'm out of line, you reprimand me instantly, and I'll go to the next person. Makeup lipstick, shame sisters udira 1 2 3 1 2 3. You know, we don't hang our dirty laundries to impress others or to make us feel better, but instead we acknowledge that we do not rise to be the same, as we are not born to be the same. There are many things that you do much better than me, and there are many things that I do better than you. If we acknowledge that from one another and say, you know what, I embrace your weakness, and your weaknesses are my strength, and my strengths are your weaknesses. So if we can learn to embrace that, and if we can learn to support one another without feeling the need for a reprove a point to other people, ibile le ska mona hore aje today ke nna hore bana ba hae ba phachime so ke ba tsasitse veselina. Do you understand? If we can learn to let go of that kind of attitude, we will have a better community, we'll have a better society. If we can learn to hold spaces for one another to excel, if we can say, you know what, I know hore nna a ke kgone se, and Emma is capable of doing this. Let me rather give this to Emma to excel in this. If we can learn to do that as women, I think community arena will be beautiful. And in that sense, have your departing point.
Yeah, I'm in support of that. For as women, for us to make it, we really need one another. We can take it, get picture, it says we are the body and Jesus is the head. So meaning there are those in matsoho, babanke, kimele, babanke mautu. So I want to let soho le kaira function ya lotu. So that describes really different strengths. Then we need, when as a woman, you need to find out what is it that I'm good at. Because as soon as you say you are good at what, you try to compare yourself with other women. And as soon as you fail to compete with them, then you'll have a problem. So as women, let's do self-assessment, and know yourself, who you are. Then you don't have to compare yourself, because you know there's no way Emma can be Kedibone. Emma ki Emma. There's a reason. Even Rekababo Emma bye too. Emma this one and that one, it will never be the same.
True.
The fact that we come from different backgrounds, we also grew up differently, because Kidilo Zediri shape from different family values and all that. So it really are different. Then we need one another.
Yes.
If you want okay, let's all, so there's no way, then I step in as slow to any kitim. Then, yeah, I always tell people who are, yeah, be like you are the leader in the area of your gifting. You are the leader in the area of your gifting. Sorry, your gifting. Meaning, if I'm a soccer player, when I'm playing soccer, there need to be somebody sitting and papatela matso. Then when I'm singing on stage, people will be there to say, "Wow, this is a seat." At that moment, because I'm doing what I'm good at, I'll be leading at that moment. But as soon as I follow, I'm staging, there'll be MCs and all that. They are good at that. So I can't be singing and MCing, doing everything all at once. So all I'm saying is women in Nellmapius, Mamelodi, South Africa, let's learn to understand and also learn to know yourself. And also it goes back to issue of healing. Whenever you have failed in life or things did not go the way you make sure you heal before you move on. Because if you heal, then on your way, while you try to heal, you like a soldier, I hope it's by busy. You sit down, you heal, then you move all right. Then you'll be able to appreciate other people better, because you are in that space that you understand. Or asebona we relate to, asebona ba irilo rupalo go ngwala and all that. Nyaka se good kasona and focus on that, and also empower ourselves. Like myself, okay, I was just an activist, Kira community work. What I did is social auxiliary work. I've worked as assistant at the social workers. I do coordinating Kudikolo. Now coming to do service delivery issues, I need to empower myself. Then you go and register a short course on whatever that you want to learn. If I know a laptop, go enroll with a computer course. Then you are empowering yourself. Horoska self-sabotage or kapshu bare one lava to later or kopela batu. So the best thing was, let's empower ourselves as women and also embrace the fact that we are different from one another.
Thank you so much, Emma. It has been a very insightful conversation that we had. And I really appreciate your honesty, your openness. I appreciate that you trusted us with your story. It really means a lot to us. And that being said, Emma's story reminds us that leadership is not all about waiting for an opportunity to come. It's all about creating opportunities. It's not all about waiting for somebody to give you permission. But somehow you need to bend the rules or break the rules so that things can happen, you know. And it's all about standing up and showing up, which is very, very important. How we show up is very important, and knowing when to show up is also very important. As we reflect on the role of women in our community, in our nation, in the world entirely, this becomes a call to remind us that it is important to support one another. It is important to always remember that we need one another as a people. There's no way you can exist for yourself. You exist for others to benefit in the gifts that God gave you. And I also live or exist because there are gifts that God gave me that I should bless others with. It's pointless for me to retain these gifts to me and reach the graveyard. You know, as Miles Monroe once said, Dr. Miles Monroe once said, the most richest place ever is the graveyard, where dreams, books, businesses, you name them, they are still there, lying there, waiting for somebody to implement them. So we need one another. We need to support one another. We need to protect one another. We need to advocate for one another as women. And also we need to be honest. In the midst of everything that is happening, we need to be honest. We need to be empathetic. We need to be meaningful. As we're hosting conversations, we need to have meaningful conversations so that we can have solutions to the challenges that we have. Because it would be pointless to speaking and not having any direction. So, and the question remains, how do we show up for one another in order for us to build a bright future? Not only for us, but for the generations that are coming after us. And like you said, like all of us need to go back to our Creator, whether we like it or not. Yes, we may believe in different things, but at the end of the day, we've got only one Creator, and that is God. We need to go back to God and seek direction. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for tuning in into this episode. I truly appreciate your support. I truly appreciate your time from wherever you are. South Africa and worldwide, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share our channel. And from my heart to yours, ke re mohau, lerato, likuto, di le atele.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future episodes. Till we meet again on the next episode of Community Conversations by Nellmapius Youth Forum. This podcast was sponsored by a mass media house. Contact them today for your media production needs. Whether you want social media content creation services, live streaming services, or you want to film an event, a mass media house has got you covered. WhatsApp 061 479 7713 today to get started.